Go to reparationsnowdoc.com. That's reparationsnowdoc.com to watch the Reparations Now, the documentary. You can also check out the theatrical release at Tubi. Also go to etnmediagroupstore.com. That's etnmediagroupstore.com to get your merch.
And remember to use the ETM Amazon affiliate link for all of your Amazon shopping. The link is available in the description.
All right, so here we go. U.S. offers nearly 500,000 Venezuelan migrants legal status and work permits following demands from strained cities. The Biden administration on Wednesday offered nearly 500,000 Venezuelan migrants in the U.S. the ability to live and work in the country legally, approving a long-standing request from cities struggling to house asylum seekers. The Department of Homeland Security expanded or redesignated the Temporary Protected Status Program for Venezuelan migrants following recent arrivals to apply for the deportation protections and work permits offered by the policy. CBS News first reported the move earlier on Wednesday, and I believe we have a video to go with this. So let's go watch the video.
We're at a crisis level here.
I would say yes.
John Martin is deputy director of the shelter in El Paso. He says the inflow of migrants has been increasing for weeks.
All of the downtown shelters are all working over capacity. We simply don't want to say no.
As first reported by CBS News, the Biden administration is granting temporary legal status to more than 470,000 Venezuelan migrants already in the U.S. The move promises to speed up their approvals for work permits. That could potentially ease the pressure on states to provide services such as housing to tens of thousands of migrants.
I anticipate, unfortunately, that we'll continue to see these increases on a daily basis.
Near Eagle Pass, Texas this week, more than 5,000 people streamed through in a day. The influx prompted the mayor to sign an emergency declaration, while in Arizona, hundreds were detained, some in makeshift cages. The influx is also being felt in states thousands of miles away.
Don't try to send people.
In New York, migrant arrivals have divided the city. Officials say $2 billion has been spent since last year to house more than 100,000 migrants bused to the city. Many asylum seekers told us waiting in Mexico was not a viable option.
In your view, Mexico is just too unsafe. Muy peligroso allí para usted y su familia.
Es horrible.
Well, there you go.
I mean, that's more than an influx. This is an invasion.
Yep, a lot of people coming into the country.
Build the wall. And we have a distressing story coming out of Chicago. Lawndale attacked 11-year-old girl undergoing second surgery after two women attacked her, mother says. An 11-year-old girl is preparing for her second surgery this week after her mother said two women attacked her. Quote, "My eye is in so much pain, my eye and my nose," end quote, Trinity Washington said. Sunday night, the girl had emergency surgery on her eye. She and her mother said the injuries happened after neighbors in the Lawndale neighborhood hosting a Mexican Independence Day celebration used a racial slur against the African American family. Quote, "The word shouldn't be used towards us. It shouldn't be used against anybody because that's a bad word," end quote, Washington said. A few minutes later, two women allegedly attacked the girl when she didn't move her 3-month-old Yorkie out of their way. And I believe we have a video to go along with this horrible story.
11-year-old Trinity Washington prepares for a second surgery this week.
My eye is doing so much pain. My eye and my nose.
Sunday night, the girl had emergency surgery on her eye. She and her mother say the injuries happened after neighbors hosting a Mexican Independence Day celebration used a racial slur against the African American family.
That word shouldn't be used towards us. It shouldn't. It shouldn't be used towards anybody. Nobody should use that word because that's a bad word.
A few minutes later, two women allegedly attacked the girl when she didn't move her 3-month-old Yorkie out of their way. The 6th grade honor student and cheer captain named her puppy Barbie. Washington and her mom say Barbie was stepped on by one of the women but survived. Then they say the aggressors targeted Washington.
I looked up. A bottle came towards my face, being thrown to my face. I dropped down because I felt something hard. She punched me in my nose. When she punched me in my nose, I almost blacked out because I fell again.
I want justice. I want them to see her.
Washington's mother preferred for her face not to be shown on TV.
Everyone have been so supportive with just sharing the love, letting her know that she is beautiful. I'm just heartbroken that this happened to her.
For the girl who hopes to someday be a pediatrician, she says this is not only painful, but confusing.
I didn't do anything. I was just trying to put my dog in a house.
The police report the family shared with ABC7 classified this case as an aggravated battery of a child. Today, Chicago police tell us no one is in custody and the case is being investigated as Washington prepares for surgery tomorrow, hoping it will lessen her pain.
Wow, that is deplorable.
Absolutely horrific. And no one is in custody.
Yeah. Prayers for that young lady and her family. May they seek justice.
Seek justice and, quick healing for Trinity. This is just an awful story. And I'm noticing a trend here. The next story, equally is bad. This little girl fortunately didn't have to have surgery, but on September 14th, in the story we just saw, that news article was posted on September 21st. So, not even a week apart. This was posted on September 14th. I got it off of a Twitter account, South Central Native. Police looking for woman who assaulted 13-year-old. Let's see. Police are looking for a woman who assaulted a 13-year-old black teenager at McDonald's in Harbor City, California. A post a few days later on September 21st from the same account, South Central Native, says police are still looking for this woman who beat a 13-year-old honor roll student in an unprovoked attack inside McDonald's September 6th in Harbor City. So you can see the assailant here in this picture. I believe we have a video to go along with this story as well.
It's a trauma so fresh. 13-year-old Cassidy Jones has no words, but her tears say it all. According to Cassidy and her mom, Cassidy was with a couple of classmates when she stopped off at a McDonald's in Harbor City on her walk home from school September 6th. But before she could get home safely, an unidentified woman cornered her in the fast food restaurant and began attacking her. Cassidy says the attack was unprovoked. She says the woman hurled these words at her.
But after y'all looking at, I fight kids, I fight you, this and that. And, I'm like, I'm shocked because, I didn't do anything. I don't know you. You're coming at me very aggressive for no reason.
Fox 11 exclusively obtained several videos that seem to corroborate Cassidy's version of what happened. The woman, who was much larger than the girl, appears to lunge at Cassidy and drag her to the floor while punching her and pulling her by the hair. Cassidy fights back with her hands and her legs. A crowd watches, yells, but does not help the girl. Cassidy says eventually a man who was with the female who punched her pulled the woman away. The woman got her meal and left.
I was focused on protecting myself because I knew the moment I put my hands down was the moment I was probably going to get beat to death.
So when she called me, she was screaming and hollering.
Got her meal and left.
Wow. beautiful young black girl. Yeah, that's
Yeah, so I'm
wow.
noticing a trend. I don't know where these people are coming from that thinks it's okay to come over here and beat up on children, especially black children. But it really needs to end. And just to give a little context of what may have led up to this, there's a blurb from Eyewitness News 7. Cassidy Jones told her mom that she was walking out of the restroom inside the restaurant last week when the woman seen in the video locked eyes with her. She said the woman seemed upset and said she fights kids.
Wow. Yeah, it's interesting because in both of these instances, you see that they're fighting young girls. You don't see them fighting other adult women.
Right,
So
and
it's
like
very cowardice of them.
right, and like the news story said, she's much bigger than this young lady, and the last thing she needed was a McDonald's meal.
Wow. Deion Sanders' message after Colorado's blowout loss at Oregon: "You better get me right now." Colorado head football coach Deion Sanders sat down at his post-game news conference here Saturday with his usual sunglasses, jewelry, and self-assurance, never once letting up on his trademark confidence despite what happened here Saturday against Oregon. His Buffaloes got demolished by the Ducks 42-6. It was his first loss in charge of Colorado, which they're now 3-1, and it was never even close despite the national Cinderella story his team had become after Colorado finished 1-11 in 2022. Sorry about that. One thing I can say honestly and candidly: you better get me right now. Sanders said, "This is the worst we're going to be. You better get me right now." So, I mean, even right in the beginning, just right off the gate, I mean, they went from 1-11 to 3-1. I mean, that's a great achievement in itself. So I don't know where these people are coming from.
Yeah, Colorado will be back. I think it's just a lot of hateration, to tell you the truth. But do we know what the next matchup will be for Buffalo?
Colorado is playing USC this weekend, so it's going to be another good game.
Okay, all right, let's go prime time. Speaking of primetime superstars, Simone Biles condemns racism after black gymnast snubbed during medal ceremony. Simone Biles has shared a powerful message against racism after a resurfaced video shows how a young black gymnast was snubbed at a medal ceremony last year. The Olympic gymnast, 26, took to social media on the 22nd of September to respond to a video which was taken in March 2022. The viral clip showed sporting officials at Gym Start competition in Ireland handing out medals to gymnasts, leaving behind the only black girl in the group. When the video was reposted to X, formerly known as Twitter, over the weekend, one user prompted Biles to share her reaction to the video, writing, quote, "I would love to see at Simone Biles reach out to this girl if she is able," end quote. In response, Biles said that the video was shared privately with her when it surfaced in 2022, and the girl's parents had reached out to her. Quote, "When this video was circulating, her parents reached out. It broke my heart to see, so I sent her a little video," end quote, she said. Quote, "There is no room for racism in any sport or at all," end quote, the four-time Olympic champion added. Gymnastics Ireland has since issued a statement regarding the incident, but the young girl's family dismissed its apology over claims it was not genuine. Gymnastics Ireland said it had received a complaint about racism from the girl's parents and one of the members that led to an investigation, and both parties, quote, agreed to end intermediation, end quote, which led to a, quote, resolution agreed by both parties in August 2023, end quote. So it took over a year to come to a resolution on this. I think we have the actual video of the incident, if we could take a look.
All right.
Okay, so as we see, the little girl did not get her medal. And somebody on social media pointed out the woman walked away with a medal in her hand. She had a medal left in her hand when she walked away. So don't know what that's about. But here's the apology that was just issued on September 22nd by Gymnastics Ireland after they received all the social media backlash. We are aware of a video that has been posted on social media relating to an incident that took place over 18 months ago at Gym Start event in March 2022, for which we received a complaint from the parents of one of our members. The complaint alleged racist behavior by one of our officials at the event. On receipt of the email, as per our policy and standard practice in relation to complaints, we investigated the matter. Gymnastics Ireland immediately contacted the family to express concern and reassure them that the matter was being investigated. We identified the official concerned and informed the individual in question of the complaint. The official in question accepted fully that what had happened had not been acceptable, but stressed that it had not been intentional. The official concerned said that upon realizing the mistake, they immediately rectified it and ensured that the competitor concerned was presented with her medal before she left the field of play. The official also expressed deep regret for what they described as an honest error and requested the opportunity to apologize in person to the competitor and her family. The request was initially denied. A written apology provided by the identified individual has since been issued to the competitor and her family.
All right, so Kim, it reads declined. I thought you said denied, but I don't know if that means the same thing. Just FYI.
Declined.
Says this request was initially declined, but I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it means the same thing, but thank you. It does say decline. Decline, denied, no thank you.
Boom.
So, like I said, it seems like the only thing that they're sorry for is that they got viral backlash after the video resurfaced. And I was wondering, what made the video resurface? Was it because they finally came to this resolution and maybe started talking about it again? But it took a year for them to come to a resolution, and a public apology didn't come until a year later as well.
Yeah, that was crazy. She actually went off we could see she went off the stage, or whatever the video was, and then came back and handed some more awards out. So
right, and then left with a medal in her hand when the little black girl standing there medalist. So I mean,
that was just
that is beyond negligence. That's just, I mean, who does that?
All right. Colin Kaepernick's new game is a Mario Kart-inspired take on arcade football. Wild Card Football is a 7-on-7 throwdown jacked with zany power-ups such as Kaepernick growing supersized and stomping the heck out of the defense. A news release on Thursday said Kaepernick will be joined by hundreds of genuine pro players, meaning Sabre got an NFL Players Association group license, but it does not have the NFL league license. Kaepernick, of course, hasn't played a down of professional football since the end of the 2016 season when he inaugurated the demonstration of kneeling during the pre-game national anthem to call attention to police brutality and its victims. That sparked a backlash and controversy, with Kaepernick and supporters saying he was blackballed from the league. He was at the end of his 49ers contract in 2016. The NFL later settled a lawsuit on undisclosed terms that he and a former teammate brought, alleging collusion to keep them out of the league.
Okay, so it looks like he's finding space back in the football arena with the new game. Should be fun. Screenwriters wait to learn terms of deal with Hollywood studios to end historic strike. All right, and this looks like it was released on September 25th, which was yesterday. Screenwriters waited Monday to learn what their 5-month strike won and prepared for a possible return to work after their union reached an agreement with studio executives that could help in the walkouts that brought Hollywood to a standstill. The historic shutdown will go on for now, with actors remaining on strike and no talks planned through the tentative deal announced Sunday night. Though the tentative deal announced Sunday night may provide momentum that could lead to a resolution for them too. That would allow full production to resume for the first time since May. The governing boards of the two branches of the Writers Guild of America are likely to vote on the contract Tuesday. With their approval, writers will then vote on the deal and the strike can officially end.
Yeah, a lot of strikes going on as of late.
A lot of strikes. So it looks like this one should be coming to an end. Probably be some updates today. They said that votes could take place Tuesday, which is today. So that could be more DEI agenda-driven programming coming your way.
Shout out to DEI. Well, I was going to segue, speaking of DEI, but I don't know. That wouldn't have been a good segue. But anyway, critics slammed Biden after he botched rapper LL Cool J's name, called him, quote, boy, end quote. Critics ripped President Biden this past weekend after he butchered the name of rapper LL Cool J during the Congressional Black Caucus Phoenix Awards Saturday night and referred to him as boy, before hastily correcting himself. So let's see from his own mouth what Joe Biden had to say.
And two of the great artists of our time representing the groundbreaking legacy of hip-hop in America, LL Cool J. By the way, that man's got biceps bigger than my thighs. I think he's an MC.
Yeah.
Old habits die hard. You know, that's been in his vernacular since birth.
Boy. It was funny. He tried to switch it up real quick. Boy, man.
I know, and he already botched his name in the first place. I mean,
LJ Cool JL. Wow. speaking of botches, I'll let you finish.
All right. Drake's American Slaves lyric on Slime You Out causes backlash. Drake and SZA surprised the world last week when they announced their first ever collaboration, Slime You Out, while the track's release came with much excitement after specific 6 God line now has him facing backlash. In Slime You Out, the two superstars croon about their lovers who have done them wrong and have them feeling spiteful. In the 36-year-old artist's first verse, he sings, quote, "Whipped and chained you like American slaves," end quote, in reference to buying cars and jewelry for a woman he was involved with. This quickly became the overwhelming topic of discussion. Quote, "Whipped and chained you like American slaves," end quote. Nobody in the studio told Drake that line was awful. One user wrote on X, formerly known as Twitter, accompanied by the popular meme of a man taking off his headphones. Another user quoted the line, tagged the Toronto rapper on X, and posted a cartoon meme of a woman covering another woman's mouth with the caption, "BI **H, learn to shut up." Slime You Out came out just 1 week before Drake's forthcoming album For All Dogs was supposed to be released early Saturday morning, September 16. He shared a flyer to his Instagram story announcing the album was being pushed back from September 22nd to October 6th. Maybe he'll have a change of heart in the studio and make some adjustments. There were a couple of comments on the article that we're reading here. I'll just go ahead and read them. This comment from someone called No Name. "Yeah, he is American. Drake is showing his disrespect for Halle. This is why he used the slime photo of her. This is to show how he feels about her. He said a black, weak woman that has been used by white men." Some of his lyrics hit close to home. It's about modern day American slaves. Blacks will never get out of bondage and will always be slaves to the white people and other cultures. There has not been any changes in black people's behaviors. It is still the same over and over throughout history. To which Trollkin responded, "Bro, Drake isn't American, bro." So that's just a little bit of context, but Drake isn't even American, born in Canada to a Jewish mother. So him using the line American slave, you know, who greenlit that?
I don't even know, but I know Common responded to him. Man, it was probably like some years ago. It had to be 10, 11 or more years ago. Guess Common already quote unquote ethered him already, calling him Canada Dry. And this other brother named Pusha T, you know, mopped him up already, lyrically, not physically, people, lyrically. So, you know, I don't know why, you know, Drake decided to use that line in this context and reference, but maybe he's going back to the studio, doing some editing, you know, removing some things. I don't know, maybe not.
Should he be forced to go back to the studio and do some editing? I mean,
absolutely
not. There are other, you know, lines that in music, like, you know, Michael Jackson comes to mind, where he received a lot of backlash for his, you know, "Kike Me" lyric and was not allowed to perform it anymore. I mean, there was just, you know, it was no tolerance for any anti-Semitic lyrics. So why is there tolerance for anti-American slave lyrics?
All right, so I don't know. I wasn't heavily involved in that, and I can't remember that. But you do have the First Amendment, right? And so if Drake wanted to take this out or not, that'd be totally up to him. And same with Michael Jackson, right? It was his choice to remove it or not, along with his label and management at that particular time. So if Drake wants to keep it in, that's up to him. If he wants to take it out because he's received some, feedback saying, yeah, bro, that this wasn't right, then it is what it is. I mean, that's why we have the First Amendment. So,
I mean, I guess, like I said, and he hasn't really issued any statement on the lyric. Matter of fact, on the Breakfast Club, Charlemagne the God, took a jab or said something about the lyrics and how this song, nobody really cared about it, and it didn't gain any traction. And Drake responded to that. He responded to Charlemagne on his Instagram, responded right away with some, snarky jabs. But why hasn't he responded to the other black backlash? I guess nobody just cares about, what American descendants of slavery have to say about how our image is being portrayed.
Well, I mean, they will when his sales dramatically fall off the map and he gets ostracized and nobody's going to his concert. Or then again, maybe non-black American descendants are buying his stuff and attending his concerts. But if the Black American descendant community is actually, supporting his career, then, I mean, he should definitely next time think about putting words like that in his lyrics in the future.
Okay, so the onus is on the black community to call for accountability and repercussions.
Are you asking me that?
I mean, that's what it sounded like you said.
Question?
Yeah, I'm just parroting back what you just said. That there need to be repercussions.
Oh yeah. I mean, obviously. I mean, I'm just saying, if something is, it would be nice if other ethnic groups said, yes, we agree with you. We will also boycott along with you. That'd be nice, right? If he said something about other ethnic groups, right? And then other people like, hey, we need y'all to boycott this. And everybody was like, okay, that's cool. And so be it. But,
Yeah, I don't see that happening. I think other ethnic groups are probably going to be making TikTok singing it pretty soon. But I think you had some pretty choice words for Drake, Canada Dry.
Yeah, I actually didn't, but Freedom X did. So
Freedom X.
Freedom X had to get on him a little bit. Freedom X had to get on the case. Because, sometimes every action has a reaction. So we'll leave y'all out with this and look forward to something called Whips and Chains, this track by Freedom X that will be coming out shortly to the Even the Mass Media Group channel right here on YouTube and other social media platforms. So I guess that's it, and that is in the news.
In the news.
Yo, Whips and Chains this goes out to all my black American descendants. Common ether Jews, son, Mr. Canada Dry. You're a glutton for punishment. Why ask why? I said a masochism runs deep in your veins. Put you in the asylum for talking insane. Who you ripping and chaining like an American slave?